Hello, more audible tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Renaissance with me, BlueAnkylo, where you can hear me, maybe too well. Sorry. Still making some final adjustments as I get used to speaking at my normal volume while I'm looking at a little graph. We're back. We're playing some Renaissance. It's episode 2. I hope you didn't skip the first one. So just for channel update while I'm getting started here. I'm sorry, last episode my volume balance was way off, and it also turns out the end of the Blue Mage series, the last 2 episodes on that. So it's really frustrating. I don't even know what happened. Literally the same day, same recording day, it was fine, and then I took a break to eat like some dinner and go for a walk or whatever I did for a few hours. Nothing changed on my computer. I don't even think I turned the microphone off or anything. Came back after, started recording a couple more episodes in the evening. And my volume was like half or a third. There's really no, I don't understand. And now I'm trying to turn it back up, and it is really hard to get the balance right again. So anyway, sorry about that. I do try to keep an eye on my settings, but when I don't change anything, I don't usually expect there to be problems. It's only when I like switch around my setup or something that I have to rebalance everything. Got my music in the background plays at a pretty consistent level. I've kind of got that set these days, but the microphone. It's always the microphone. Anyway, that's all then done for us. But anyway, Irvine, our archer, totally an archer. I got some level ups. Level 11's pretty high. Now, I really am worried that literally now I'm talking and I'm seeing like the mic audio like not quite red barring, but getting close. So I'm trying to move the microphone far enough away. But, sorry, I'll check this again at the end of the video, but just frustrating. Anyway, hopefully audio's okay. It's a bit easier when I'm streaming, because you can get it live checked, but... Anyway, so I got some level ups. I did eventually buy the better bow. What do I have to say about low-level Hunter? You still have to grind for special shots. I'm not a big fan of it. Even now, where we get a lot of ammo, like I'm trying to think like what is missing on the archer. I think they need to make like 2 or 3 shots at a time per material, maybe even like 4. Like double, triple, or quadruple is probably about the rate, because I'm playing solo archer, and I still kind of have to stop and grind certain materials when I'm fighting difficult enemies. Like, fighting the ogres is still very... Well, it's getting easier now, but at the level we left off in the last episode, it was not really easy. So, what was happening was I would run out of leg shot ammo, which is hides, and then I have to go grind against, like, mad ponies or something to get more hide drops. But then I'd run out of fangs, so I have to go back to grind against imps to get more fangs. As you get higher level, you know, it's a bit easier to kill anything, so maybe that won't last for too long. But, like, in a normal run, I never had enough materials to spam these. And even on a solo run, it's, like, not trivial, let's just say. Like, anyway, I'm going to show you, if you're curious, the way I got a lot of XP pretty quick. You want to do a hard reset. I love that you can miss on these things. That's just... Yeah, I get it, but it's so dumb. Can we even win this? Just not if we keep missing. Okay, good crits. We do get... Like, as our level's going up, we're scaling up a bit quicker than I expected. So, definitely compared to, like, the Thief and the Dancer, every level up, because of... You get 3% hit rate every level. Although I don't think it adds a ton of damage, it does add a little bit. And I think it means you get a more linear growth curve. There's no jumps at 32%, 64%. And although I don't think you're actually keeping up with, like, fighter damage by any means, a fighter that was about to get a 3rd swing, even with 15 damage, would be feeling real good. We're not going to do anything near Silver Sword damage at this level, but it's, you know, we're getting there. Anyway, the point is, you hard reset, burn 3 encounters however you want, either fight them or reset out, whatever. And you want to stand somewhere down here. the encounter zones are kind of overlapping in this area. You can get into like 4 different encounter zones depending on exactly where you stand. So right against this bottom corner is like the easy wave. I'm trying to remember it. You get a whole bunch of arachnids. Assuming you're not at level 5 and broke, this fight. Oh no, I've got water. I gotta flip my water. I've got a little bit left. This fight is good for XP, bad for gold. Well, I say that. It's actually not bad. It depends on how many arachnids you get. Because if you're poisoned, it costs you 75 gold to heal from poison. Period. And assuming you need to go to the inn after this, that's another 50. So if you can make 125 gold, this fight is really good for experience. 4 spiders is enough. 3 spiders is... 3 spiders is enough. So if you only get 1 or 2 spiders, you definitely lose money because you're going to get poisoned. But this is actually like one of the better XP fights for this guy. Probably a lot of characters, honestly. I think I've underrated this for grinding. That's only 3 resets off of the hard reset. And you do make enough money to like buy a pure potion and then go back to the inn. I'm a little bit richer now because I can kill some ogres. Because, conveniently, the next fight, if you remember, in this specific zone is 1 or 2 ogres. Now, this one we probably couldn't have won at level 5. But once we get a little bit stronger, and especially if you've got a couple of these leg shots, and you do need some luck, because they're not guaranteed. And you need more luck because they can break out of it, you know, anytime, like right now. But if you get them paralyzed, obviously they can't hurt you, and as you level up, you can see we're doing pretty good damage, so it's not that hard to win those fights. It's just, can you sustain the usage of those arrows? Well, you're probably going to have to go grind some of those. So yes, we can defeat ogres now. Oh, I went too far to the left. There should have been another ogre fight. Try this one. Oh, maybe I'm... Oh, I get all the... Sorry. Maybe it's more over this side, left side? Yeah, the encounter zones are all wild around here. On a hard reset, skip the first 3. Depending on exactly where you stand, you can get a bunch of 1, 2 ogres, green ogres, and ogres down in this little corner on the left. But it very much depends on... I haven't looked up the map. I know there's... You can follow... There's guides, obviously. It's not that hard to find. Basically, the world map is split up into squares, and each square has a different list of enemy encounters. Even if they share the same enemy types, like both groups have arachnids, wolves, ogres in the same kind of formations, they're not necessarily at the same number in the encounter table. So, although maybe over here we fight ogres on like 6 and 7, maybe over here you fight ogres on 10 and 12 or something like that, you know. That's the bad fight. You definitely don't want that one. Anyway, I've just shown off. You can clearly kill some stuff. As we're getting our level up, I think we're hopefully strong enough to kill the pirates today. This is like testing out if I can survive against a few Gerwolves. Gerwolves hit harder than a pirate. So, theoretically, this gives you an okay gauge. We're actually dying for sure. So, run away if we get a turn. Yeah, cool. Let's just bail. I'm hoping we don't need to grind anymore. If I do need to grind, I have a relatively decent system. And I've already bought some heal potions. So we should be hopefully good enough to deal with some pirates. Unfortunately, none of our skills really matter. We kill 1 per turn, and hopefully we kill enough that we can survive the fight before they sort of chip me down. Our HP growth on an archer is not amazing. A lot of this fight is sort of dependent on, like, your maximum hit points, right? I think we have to kill 4 before I consider a heal potion. Maybe because we've got wood armor, this is a point right now where we can kind of... 24 hit points, they can deal that pretty easily. My default is usually kill 5 before you risk heal potions. Otherwise, like that turn they only did like 9 damage, but they can roll higher than that. And if you're just drinking heal potions and they do more damage than a heal potion, you know, you're just wasting time. You're just gonna die. We got really bad turn order there. I actually feel like we should have had that, but because if we were down to 4 left, I feel like I should be able to heal through it and then, you know, build up some HP and then kill one more, and then it's a little bit easier. Build up some HP, kill one more, it's a little bit easier. So, we're level, whatever level I'm at, might be 1 or 2 levels higher than necessary. I kind of just wanted to get some of the grinding done off camera because, well, what happens after the pirate fight? Probably more grinding. So we'll do some more on this episode, of course, but I want to have a little bit of forward momentum, let's say. I have been thinking about like whether or not we could take something down in the Peninsula of Power. I've been holding A down. We're in a good spot as long as we don't get critted here. I think. Well, here we are. So 25. Let's see if we end the turn with more than 25. Yeah, so we netted 5 HP. That's not great. Okay, we went up a little bit higher. See, we are gaining HP every turn, but just barely. Kind of depends on rolls, right? So I need a little bit more buffer before I swing again or shoot again. I'd like to have maybe 50. And then hopefully I kill one pirate. This is definitely very expensive on heal potions here. We're kind of getting... There we go. Good heal roll. Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. If you rolled high on the healing potion, and then the enemies don't beat me up too much. I think we kill one more, actually. Maybe we just win now. Yeah, we should be okay. Maybe I didn't need to heal up quite that much, but it's... Once you're that far into a fight, it's hard to just gamble. Okay, well that's... Pirates done. Good. Next up, we can go to Elfland, and we've saved up enough money that pretty sure we can buy a better weapon and armor, technically, sort of. I can't remember if... Oh, we can use... So this technically does bonus... Well, it's a 100% chance to slow. I'm not actually sure if it does bonus damage against aquatics. That didn't look like it. 52 is not amazing. But the shark, I think, only gets 1 attack. So slow, like, didn't do anything at all, I don't think. I mean, he missed us, but that shouldn't have changed anything. We could go to Dwarf Cave to get a bit of gold. I don't think we need it. Unless this bow is more expensive than a silver sword. Ocean battles. Alright, here we go. Shopping trip. It's almost... Dang it. Okay. Okay, change of plans. There's about 1,000 gold at Dwarf. Man, these bows are crazy expensive. I don't know why they're making me pay this much money. Did the developer think that these guys are equivalent to fighters and they need fighter-priced weapons? I don't think we're anywhere close to fighter. Like, they gave us the 3% hit growth the way a fighter does, which is fairly rare. Not a lot of classes get 3% hit growth. Not even the black belt, technically. In fact, in the vanilla, it's only the fighter. Everybody else gets 2% hit growth. In Renaissance, I think Dark Knight and Dragoon, I think, get 3% per level. Dark Knight needs it. Dragoon, it's fine. They're basically a fighter. But yeah, I'm just feeling like Archer is meant to be on par with that, because they're like a fighter with some trick shots, but they are definitely not armored and less magic resistance as well, and they need to farm materials. They do less damage with their bow in general. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the developer was going for with these archers. Where's the niche that they're... I mean, I guess the only niche I really can find is they have a pretty good boss debilitating move, but... We'll see, we'll see. I'm not done yet. You know, this is only episode 2. Don't give up on them. So technically, we can equip the large knife, which means like maybe the silver dagger or like the cat claw might be something to look at. I don't think it's going to be even close to the elven bow in power, though. Yes, we could attack twice, but we're dropping 10% hit and 5 damage and most of our crit. So we'd still get 2 attacks, and our hit percent growth is good. The daggers are probably better if you're maxing your strength. Because you get multiple hits, the strength bonus really helps. We're going to get a third hit in 2 levels, haha. Except not really. But yeah, Elven Bow, 15% crit rate. This should feel pretty solid anyway. I don't know if we'll be one-shotting ogres yet. A fighter at level 11 or whatever with... Oh, we can wear these too. Oh, I forgot about that. Sure. I mean, that's some extra damage, I guess. Technically, another way to get more attacks out of your daggers, interestingly. I mean, yeah, what I'm trying to say is a fighter at level 11 with a silver sword, same, you know, spent gold investment, would absolutely be dunking on any enemy around Elflet, right? One shot, pretty much anything, even a green ogre, probably, and that's about as tanky as it gets. So let's do some science. That's a lot of ogres and well, it's a lot of creeps. We better be able to one-shot them. 72, not bad. Maybe we can figure out how our damage ranging. Just like our episode 1 intro, except no one heard me. Now we get a lot of crits, which is the trick. But 72 against the ogre? 36 against the ogre? Ugh. Is that what we're excited about? I mean, it's better than the thief. Yes, it does. We're doing more damage than a thief. Right? We don't really have to think about that. 70... 38. Yeah, that 38... Still rolling in the 30s on a physical attack seems pretty underperforming. So if we didn't factor in hit percent, we should be doing 19 to 38 damage. So we're definitely doing way more. Like, I'm trying to figure out how we can figure it. Well, I say 19 to 38. It's actually even less than that, right? Because the ogre's got pretty, like, 10 absorb or something. Yeah, 10 absorb. See, I know things. So whenever he takes damage, add 10, and that was our damage roll. Fight some more. Let the sciencing continue. I'm not even using the special arrows. This is just testing. So 40 creeps they've got their own defense. 8. So that was like a 38. That was a crit though, doesn't really count. '40s, 36s. So when we're not critting, we're getting a lot of around 30-40 damage most of the time. So obviously hit percent has scaled it up because our basic damage formula, our maximum would be 38 minus 10, 28 damage. Clearly not enough. Now, if it was supposed to be comparable to getting 3 attacks at 65%, for instance, then you would want your damage to be 3 times approximately 19. 3 hits at 19. So that would be, let's just round it up to 20 for simple math. You'd be doing around 30 damage per hit, minus the enemy's absorb, with 3 attacks. So against an ogre, you would do 20 damage times 3 is about 60, with some chance to crit. It's a bit harder to math that crit chance in there. But with one shot, you get 1 crit chance only, which is rough. It does put all the absorb into 1 shot rather than splitting it up. Because if you get 3 attacks, the absorb hits every one, but I don't know. I'm trying to give him an honest attempt here. Not just gonna be like, oh, he doesn't do enough damage. you know, bench him forever. It's definitely getting better. Like, that's one thing the Thief really fell bad on. It didn't improve much. You know, every level up, you were basically just as bad as the last level. Because you didn't get strength very often, and you didn't get any, like, hit percent to damage very often. Well, every 32, 64, but specific benchmarks, that's it. See what we do against the ogres. So this is, I'm pretty sure, the same... There you go, one shot. This is probably the same encounter style as the one I was fighting south of Provoca, where you go arachnids, ogres, and this is what you're supposed to do when you're in the correct zone. Okay, one-shotting is feeling a little better. Yes. How about strike first hurts? I do need to buy that copper bracelet. Doesn't really change my absorb, but I think we could use the evade bonus. It's a minor thing, but might as well. I don't know. I'm just trying to... Yeah. You get a bonus damage as well when you use your shots. The Fang shot, in theory, is 75% extra damage. So if you're in a rush, still a good idea. Assuming you've got the materials. The enemy debuff, not sure it's a big deal, but... Yeah, the trouble is... I mean, I'm out. Like, I can barely make any more. Grinding for fangs. Maybe some of the really weak materials should just be purchasable, or like they unlock a little bit later. Like maybe Provoca you can buy fangs, and then Elfland you can buy whatever's next or something. You know, these creeps are tearing me up. $50 damage, yeah. I don't think we're as reliably killing an ogre as like a red mage or a fighter with a silver sword would be at this point. Let's go get our armor upgrade. But sure, we're doing more than a thief. Sure. If that's all you care about, yeah. Alright, a little bit less weight. Gives us some more evade. That's pretty much stacked. That's as much as we can get. Other than just healing potions and prepping more arrows, all we can really do now is gain levels before we go to Marsh. So let me think. What do I need for Marsh? Obviously, we need some luck. We're not sweeping. We don't have any fire 2s or harm 2s, so stun dead packs are gonna be bad. In theory, our agility and luck are fair. So we might have some somewhat decent encounter luck and runaway chance. We might just die here. Yeah, good. Not really enough without using special shots to kill a pack of ogres and creeps. Like, you need some luck. If our damage range doesn't one-shot the creeps, we're in big trouble. Yeah, there you go. That's really unfortunate. I would say this level fighter Silver Sword never fails to kill a creep. Like, they're not that tanky. They only got like 60 hit points. Technically less armor and HP than an ogre, and I think a fighter does over 100 damage almost every swing right now. So, yeah. I mean, I'm comparing him to the strongest vanilla Final Fantasy 1 class, of course, but that is the benchmark for guy that uses the attack command. The monk was always like, got stronger, but only in the very late game. I can't see this attaining the heights that a monk could attain. And the fighter is just good the whole game. So I don't think we're gonna have a huge difficulty grinding as high a level as we want. I mean, yes, once we get a few more levels up, enemies are gonna start to running away, and that becomes its own issue. But we can kill ogres and stuff pretty reasonably. Not like super easy, but it'll just get better as we level, right? The problem is, of course, if I have to rely on shots, I need fangs, which means I can't just keep killing these. I have to kill like imps. I don't know what exactly drops them. I think wolves can. I think wolves usually drop fangs, maybe. Not the reliable one-shot. Yeah, that's the thing. As soon as you fail... I'm in a world of hurt because I don't have very good armor and no sweepers. So if you can't one-shot things, yeah, you're struggling. That said, I'm still confident we're killing enemies quicker than... Well, a solo white mage would also be going very slowly through this. Definitely slower battles. So that's... But the solo white mage is very survivable. And honestly, as soon as they get harmed too, they want to go to Marsh to grind over there anyway, probably. Well, and some, you know, enough tents that you can do that. You can go kill some shadows or something. Man, cannot catch a break here. I mean, I get the like lore reason that the archer can't wear heavy armor. You know, they're supposed to be light. Kind of like the thief in the sense that they're not heavy armor wielders, heavy armor wearers, which is fair. I wouldn't expect them to be tanky like a fighter, but if they're gonna be like super fragile, shouldn't they be more damagey, like glass cannon builds? Wouldn't that make more sense? We're definitely not doing more damage than a fighter or a black belt, that's for sure. I think similarly, a black belt at this point would be one-shotting arachnids because. This is, I think, the level where they get 4 punches at double their level damage. So at level 12, they'd be doing 24 damage times 4 hits. If we were just a black belt. And black belts are fairly glass cannony. They get a lot of hit points, but not much armor, right? But they also have great magic resistance, which... You know, it's going to matter pretty soon. As soon as we get to that next dungeon. I feel like I can't afford the arrows even again. I actually grinded in between episodes to make sure I had quite a lot of supplies, and like they're already gone. Green Ogre group. So I'll use the paralyze here. Maybe 2 paralyzes. Because I definitely want to win this fight. It's worth a lot of money and lots of XP. That was a poor Fang shot. I mean, if you're lucky, they stay paralyzed for ages. If you're not lucky, it doesn't last. Our killing ability here, this fight, not great. So, I definitely have to give some credit to... The status affliction arrows are potent. I think we just run away, actually. Get that save. I should have used a tent, then I could have taken the fight. Or at least tried. But yeah, I think, you know, they're potent, but man, does it... You guys let me know in the comments. Who grinded enough resources to use these regularly, right? Like, I thought for sure solar archer would be... I would have more than enough, right? It's not really turning out that way. Yeah, I think if I was making a change, at least 2 arrows per craft, if not more. Wrong target. Oops. Because, like, our base damage is weak. If you're using the plus 75% damage, it's still not that good. I mean, 65, like, it still has a pretty wild range that it can hit. Maybe that's one of the things to think about. When you attack multiple times, it does kind of average out your damage, right? Like, let's say you make 4 attacks. Each attack is 10 to 20 damage, something like that. You're going to average 15 on 4 attacks hitting. You're probably going to do around 60 damage. Pretty reliably around 60. You know, sometimes you'll hit 50 or 70, but you'll usually be close to 60. The distribution is small. If you just have one attack that has the same minimum and maximum, 10 times 4 is 40, 20 times 4 is 80. You just go 20 to 40 on one roll. The same exact range, but just one roll. The distributions can be really high. The 20s really hurt, and the 80s are kind of overkill. So it's kind of like a nerf. One of the weak points of Archer is it's like you're in that category where you could hit really awesome, And that'll happen sometimes and feel good. But a lot of times you're just overkilling enemies, doing way too much damage. And then when you need to kill one, you roll low and it's not enough. Whereas the more reliable multi-attackers, you kind of get it's easy to get a feeling for what you can kill reliably, right? So even if we can technically do right now as much damage as a fighter, it's way less reliable. And I still think we're doing less damage on average, but, you know, making my case. Now, do you count resource expenditure? I don't think you can count that in his regular attack. Because grinding for resources is definitely something you can do, but you can't just use those arrows every single battle. There's no way. You're net negative all the time. So unless you're taking dedicated imp grinds to get more fangs, you're always... You can use them, but they're like spell slots, where... At least spell slots, you just spend gold to get them back. It's cheap. It's actually more expensive to use these arrows than in time than spell slots. You can't just use a house to get them all back. That's kind of why I think they should be purchasable, just not too much all at once, right? Like, unlock maybe one guy in each town. That, like, maybe we can't buy every single one, but at the very least fangs, because everything uses fangs. And maybe, like, as you get a little bit further in the game, you can buy something else. I don't know. Tails are pretty important. Hides. Like the first three secondary, you can buy them once you're in either Elfland or Melmond or Crescent Lake or something. And then maybe you want to keep, I don't know which one, say gel or something super rare or fine. But even then, if you want to use these cool arrows, I mean, Ash is, I think, from Undead. Gel's, I think, from Slimes. Like, we're just gonna run from those fights. How often is the archer gonna get a kill on like the stun dead packs? Like, it's never gonna happen. And if you have a balanced party, you're probably just gonna use your mage to use fire 2 or harm 2 or something like that, right? $166, but crits. Yeah, and because we have a high crit rate, that applies to the variations as well. Sure, it's going to feel awesome when you crit for, 200 damage at a relatively low level. But, I mean, yeah, it's sometimes you get a nice streak and it happens a few times in a row. But, yeah, you can't rely on it. I'm actually more concerned about the minimum damage than the maximum damage. Or, yeah, average, but is it consistent average, right? Can I reliably 1 or 2 shot an ogre? Is more what I'm thinking than, is it possible for me to deal 400 damage to an ogre? Sure, cool, but I want to know if I'm going to kill it. Like, if I'm trying to decide if I run away or take another fight or need to use a potion or something, I'm thinking how many more turns I can survive. What's my minimum damage roll? And also, like, once you're doing multiple attacks, you generally don't miss 4 out of 4. You're still going to hit 3 and do some of your damage, and you might be able to sort of factor that into your risk assessment. For us, if we miss, we're absolutely getting trounced. Yeah. It's nice to have something to think about, at least. Thankfully, didn't get poisoned. I mean, I am glad that we generally at level 13 now can take down a single ogre without too much worry. It's a good sign that we're improving, Gotta buy some more tents. Alright, here's the big boy. I'll still paralyze the greenie. And then I'll try to rush the ogre down. This is the only fight I'm even using my special arrows on, and I still feel like I'm running out. Here we go. Clean win, I think. Pretty good. Yeah, if you could just buy them. I don't know. You have to make sure they're not crazy expensive either. Like, maybe $100 for fangs or something like that. Maybe 200. I don't know. Alright, let's fight a couple more. I guess we could try some Kaizoku. Good for gold. I guess I don't really need gold, though. All I'm in here for is level ups, and then how confident do I feel about Marsh? Because I can probably buy enough heal potions already. I guess if I could force shark battles, that might be a... Well, okay, part of it is, like, I need to get more fangs. What do I fight for fangs? That's good for XP as well, maybe. I can't imagine Kaizoku drop fangs, but I don't think I've fought any yet. They'll start running away soon enough anyway. Might as well get a couple kills here. Yeah, I guess it's going a bit too fast. Let's go Canaria save, reset, and then we'll check the drops. I'm sure they drop something, right? They must. Technically, I guess... I'm also doing this the hard way anyway. You can look it up. It's a bit of a hassle. But they drop nothing. Never mind. You can't poach anything from a Kaizoku. That's rude. They've got blood. You can burn them into ashes. Okay, Sahags drop, what, hide? Okay. Hide's good because that's the second thing for the stun arrow. So I guess, finally, a reason to kill Sahagins. Hooray! I bet you're really excited to now fight those. The next battle on the sea will be more Kaizokus, which now we know don't give us any resources. So let me cycle through some imps, because we know they give us some fangs. Maybe. Excuse me? There you go. 160 damage. Pretty good. So maybe, like, Astos won't be that bad? I don't know. Feels like we've got more armor piercing power and a good crit rate. That's something a lot of characters have, like, none of right now. I'm just curious what our max damage will be. Assuming the imp doesn't run away. 397, that's pretty good. We could probably hit 400 or 500 with that. If you want to spend 4 turns, sure. So yeah, I'm not even saying it takes a hugely long time to grind away these fangs, but as the imps start running away, I will need another source of fangs. Like, unless you grind up to 99. Oof. Okay, you know what? We're gonna go play around in the Peninsula of Power. Our single target damage is, and our ability to disable is something no one else has, and I'm not sure how difficult it will be. This is just for science. We definitely want some ways to save a lot, because we're going to be dying. Assuming this works at all, we're going to be dying between every fight. And enough heal potions to keep this going. Probably enough to get us through Marsh. Yeah, almost maxed heals. Probably enough cures for most of what we need. And Alright. So we're as geared up as you can be pre... post Mystic Key world, right? Remember when creeps were really scary? So, you know, we are feeling stronger, right? Like, you know, just an hour ago, yesterday for you guys, those creeps were barely worth the time. Now we're just casually two-shotting ogres without too much danger? I don't think I need a leg shot here. I should have made more, should have crafted more before I went up this way. But yeah, like, I feel like I'm trading heal potions for rare drops, like rare materials. I'm not sure I'm a fan. I think I mostly want to rely on stun shot if we're going to be trying to kill these things. So, you know, there are giants. They count as giants. We can check. If you could get like one Zombol, it's technically undead, so there's probably nothing we can do for special effects. It only gets 1 attack, so that's not going to matter. Giants, do they get 1 attack or 2 attacks? I mean, I'm not sure if this is possible. They get 1 attack. They are considered humanoid, so we could go for the insta-kill on giants. That might be worth a shot. I just think farming the materials is going to be a pain, but if you could just, you know, one-shot a couple giants, that might be worth the XP. There's troll... Is there trolls here? There are some trolls here. Yeah, triple attacks. They're regenerative. They're not considered giants. And then the frost wolves or beasts or whatever. They have no family. They have no family at all, even though they have a pack. And Tyros, do they have a type? Dragon. I don't think we have access to any dragon arrows. Unless we can find scales, which at this point, no. Not that lowering his defense by 4 matters. Paralyzed is probably the only thing that gets us through any of the hard fights. Other than maybe gambling on a stone effect on the headshot. Okay. Let's see what we get. Dancing in the Peninsula Power. I mean, this is nice, but it's only nice if you've got Fire 2 or something. That fight, we're never winning. 2 Zombles. Let's find out if you can paralyze them. Not so far. Okay, that worked, and it was a crit. Too bad I'm dead. Okay, that's funny. Maybe. Not like we can heal through this. We just have to kill them as quick as we can. We basically need crits and hope that we get... you already woke up. I guess we could try... Go first. So, in theory, we could kill 2 Zombles. That's worth a lot of gold and XP. But it does use, like, a ton of arrows. Maybe we could hit hard enough for these guys? I don't know. I think they've got around 100 HPs. It's just... Unless you're one-shotting them, I'm not even going to think about it. Okay, we'll try this again. Okay, I think that only works if we get a paralyze immediately. If we fail on the first paralyze, don't even bother. Right? Especially when there's 2. If there's only 1, I'd keep going, I guess. Well, this should be guaranteed because they're giants. The damage isn't all that impressive, but 100% chance to paralyze, sure. We didn't even get it. Okay, 3 is still too much. That was unfair. Unlucky maybe, but also unfair. Smacked. Yeah, preemptive strike. I guess I could have ran, but wiggle. Keep wiggling. I don't think we can do 4. Okay, here's a good one, I think. It's better if we go before we get killed. Like, we actually attack them. No, I targeted the wrong one. Input just dropped it as I know I pressed down, it just didn't click. And he already woke up. I don't know which one it was. Probably the one on the top, right? Frick. Okay, this is not looking great for solo archer in the Peninsula Power. It looks like some of these fights are winnable, but see how long these paralyzes last. Okay, that was a good hit. 176 is great. So that was a 3 tap. Pretty solid. 2 hits. 3. Okay, if we're killing them in 4 attacks, that was a lot of XP, but like, we can do that till we run out of stun arrows, and then what, right? We have to go grind for those. So we'd be doing some sort of wolf or imp grind to do a pop grind every time we want to kill something. I'm not sure that's worth, like... Maybe we take down a Tyro? That'd be cool. Not if we fail the paralyze. It should be possible. Yeah, I don't have any dragon arrows. I want to try that headshot before I run off, though. Maybe not on this guy, but... I guess he could have. Maybe the next Tyro we try a headshot. I mean, that's definitely good XP. We're doing better than I thought. Let's not cry too hard. We're consuming our special arrows, but we are taking stuff down. Especially 1v1, we're doing pretty well. I don't know if a fighter could take down a Tyro 1v1. That's maybe a bit of a stretch. Maybe it's possible, but at this level, that would be a tough fight. Iron armor, silver sword, yeah. I think I put my money on the Tyro most of the time. So we have done something that maybe a black belt or a fighter couldn't do. Maybe. Yeah, leg shot, pretty good. Gotta give credit for this. When it works, it's great. Couldn't risk it. Got the kill, but that was 3 arrows that time. Yeah, okay. What I just, the main thing I don't like about this is that I have to grind to do this grind. To even enable this. Maybe they shouldn't even cost materials. Maybe they should just be like spell slots. You just get, you know, 2 at level 1 and then get a couple more at level 2 and just put the best one at the bottom, maybe, if you can organize them. Maybe they should just work like spell slots. Because grinding for these mats. We did get the Petrify insta-kill. I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, maybe that should be limited to, like, you need to be high enough level to cast a level 6 spell slot. Kind of like Break or something. But, like, that was lucky. That was a 1 in, like, that was a 50% even to apply, and then 1 in 4, or 1 in 3, I suppose. So that was pretty low odds of one-shotting the Tyro. Let's try on. I've saved 1 leg shot. We got darkness. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. He already woke up, so we might not be winning this fight. Although darkness gives him, you know, lower chance to hit me, it's not that low, so. Yeah, darkness is like a big, fat stinker when you get it. Petrify is obviously the MVP of that arrow. I want another Tyro. That was good. Just give me Tyros that I can one-shot. So, is this better grinding than ogres? Probably at the level the ogres start to run away, yes. Because it gets to be a hassle chasing them down, and you kind of, it slows down your grind when they always escape before you can finish them off. If you can't one-shot them easily, then grinding on, like, that's the problem the thief has, is, you know, he always needs 3, 4, 5 attacks to kill an ogre. While he can kill an ogre, if they run away before you can finish them off, that was nice. Yeah. Then we failed that one. Come on. Okay, that's unfortunate. Trolling me there. But yeah, that's interesting. Here we go again. Headshot fail. Try again. Come on. Confused. I mean, that's good. Like, I have a lot of experience with Confuse after messing around on Summoner so long. But it's not enough. He doesn't hit himself hard enough. We need that Petrify to connect. Okay. Well, I mean, we might as well, to be fair, we are actually leveling up at a decent pace here. It's just, yeah, we're going to run out of those arrows, right? So once we run out of the arrows, it's the grind to get them back. But while you've got a lot of them, this is a good place to test them out, I think. Fail. That's the 50-50 coin toss. Darkness, not what we need. And then we're dead. Yeah, darkness is basically... Darkness might as well be a miss. Why is that on my list? If you're going to make these spell slots, get rid of darkness. Confuse or stone already... yeah, 50% chance to hit. If it was confused or stoned, I would take that. 1 in 4 chance to kill-ish. You still have to hit the target, too. You can miss the attack, and then fail to apply the condition, and then get the wrong condition. Like, that's a lot of ways to do nothing. I guess it depends, right? If these, I feel like I spent way too many resources on that fight. If you could buy the arrows or the materials to make them, probably I wouldn't have as much of a problem with their balancing. But given how much of a pain grinding for them is, I think they should be way more effective at it. I mean, honestly, the insta-kill, obviously great. But it's still only... Even if you assume you hit, what's 50% divided by 3? That's your chance of it one-shotting someone. That's not as good as even the rub spell, right? I know rub spell, I make fun of a lot of the insta-death magic because they're not reliable, but it's not that they only hit like 15% of the time or 16% of the time. They might hit like a third or a quarter or half the time depending on your target. And they're decent. This is like... Pretty sure about 16%, right? 50 divided by 3. If you don't miss... Now, it does seem to bypass, like, protections. So, like, maybe if you're normally resistant to stone or blindness or status conditions, it bypasses that. But blindness doesn't matter. Confusion, status, resistance barely matters. Stone resistance? Is there any? Yeah. So the elementals, for instance, you normally can't turn them to stone with Brack. Or at least it's really unlikely. It's not literally impossible, it's just unlikely. In theory, our arrow could one-shot one air elemental or something with the break. But it's still like a 1 in 6 chance. Easy way to say it. Is that so strong that it needs its own separate grind to get them? I don't know. Obviously we're basically running out. I'll try to fight like one more Tyro, I guess. Yeah, we can get a level up if we get anything, basically, with our headshot. So, I'm still glad I showed this place off. Actually, man, spent more time this episode up here than I thought. We're already nearly an hour in just grinding. I mean, let's see what these do. Blam, insta-killed. Sure. Maybe the odds are better than 1 in 6. I don't know. Got the confuse. It's better than nothing. Yeah. Better than nothing. Darkness. Nah, it's 1 in 3. It is what it says. It just feels really good when you hit those consecutive stones. That's all. Are there any humanoid bosses where instead of 1 in 6, it's 1 in 3? Garland doesn't count because you can't get this early enough. I think the vampire might be considered humanoid and spellcaster. I think. Hey, good luck. Hey, there's our level. So yeah, that's... I'm not saying they're useless, I just think they're not as good as the effort you put in to get them. And I think in a normal group, like, if I barely have any right now, and I'm like Irvine kills everything himself, I have a good amount of eyes, bloods, and tongues. But I guess I have to go grind fangs, hides, and tails now to make, like, to restock the stuff I need. We can't even get wings yet, or scales, or ashes and gels. So, like, we only have access to 5 of them, I think. Yeah, I can't say I'm super sold. I think it's like... It's a neat idea. I think the balance might need some tweaking. Either... trying to think of how I could make it, what I would want it to do to be fun. Because, like, getting enemy drops isn't the problem. I think it's the amount of arrows you get per kill. And in a group, the archer's going to get... Maybe it shouldn't be archer only. Maybe anyone in the group kills an enemy. And then you still need, like, probably 2 arrows per enemy or per craft or something. Yeah, I think the problem is that it requires the archer gets the kill, which is really hard in a group of 4, especially with sweepers. Like black mage stuff. And I still don't think you get enough. I think you should probably get more arrows per craft. Less of a resource management game, more just... You do need to get some. I don't know, maybe that's too much. But I don't think they should be super hard to get. Or, alternatively, make them hard to get, except they need to be very reliable at that point. Get rid of that 50% hit rate stuff. How am I going to do this? Okay, so I did all that just to, you know, do some science for you guys. Just for you guys, not for me at all. The next question is, yeah, how do we kill a wizards? 2-pack we can probably handle. I can slow them, but that's not a huge effect. We don't have access to the magic beast arrow easily. Not like it matters. So, yeah, we could slow them to half their damage, or we could just go for the insta-kill. Or the paralyze is probably more reliable. Once again, it's... I think 2 wizards, if I have a few leg shots, is fine. Probably. Also, we might just kill them in a single hit. It's hard to say. I mean, maybe I should be taking these dumb fights. I don't... This is part of it with Archer, too. Like, I guess it depends on how you play, but how many people melee wolves and stuff down? I feel like everyone either runs away or just uses a sweeper spell, right? Like, most people probably just run. It's not... I feel like the easy connection there is that they're not really worth the effort and time it takes to kill them. There's a lot of enemies in FF1 that are like that. It's just... Yeah, sure, you can kill them, but it's minimal XP and gold reward for an annoying fight. I'm trying to think of another Final Fantasy I run away as often in, actually. Probably none. I guess Final Fantasy 2, once you're kind of out-leveled for the zone, you can't gain any skill progression in a zone, so you just run away at that point. I guess. But usually, it's not that bad. So we did manage to end up with pretty good cash after the Peninsula grind. And that was just a baby grind. I could certainly go back and... Honestly, this proves that we can get really high levels if we want. It's just a matter of getting the stunning arrows, especially, really. So, we're almost an hour in, dang. I guess I'm gonna have to just do some arrow farming. I think my level's good enough, I think. But I need to kill stuff without spending arrows. And once I've got a decent stash of materials, we should be ready for Marsh, I think. The Peninsula grind certainly sped that up a little bit. And, like, those guys are dropping hides and stuff, like... That's kind of... Like, hides aren't that hard. It's really the fangs, oddly enough. Maybe enemies should drop more than one. Like... Maybe an imp drops 1 fang, and then a wolf drops 2 fangs. And then a werewolf drops 4 fangs, because that's an advanced enemy, you know? I don't know, maybe something like that. Or like, you're fighting dragons, they can drop a whole bunch of them or something. Or like big enemies or something like that, I don't know. Alright, yeah, Kaizoku don't give us anything. Rude! Yeah, so if we can kill this, we get a whole bunch of hides. Hooray. I mean, yeah. This is what I'll have to do for a while off camera between episodes. I'm gonna go fight a bunch of, I guess, wolves? Did the spiders drop fangs? Spiders should have fangs. I mean, It's not like this is particularly hard, it's just boring. It's kind of the problem with just grinding materials. Should have killed the Arsa Hogs first, definitely. But you do that when you're grinding. Okay, yeah, that was lots of hides. So you know, it's not. I don't know. Maybe I'm overestimating how long this stuff takes. I'll test out my theory for you guys. Do arachnids drop fangs? Maybe you could check the bestiary. Let's test it out via my grind cycle. We got a couple level ups at the Peninsula Power. Can we kill creeps and ogres in one shot? No, not always. Not even, that's 99 damage. We're off by 1. So 3 shots against an ogre, pretty weak for the level we're at. At least we do get drops from these guys, right? Like we get eyes and bloods and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I still am not going to regret killing ogres. Just wish we could... The reliability on this guy, not amazing. Waiting for those crits. Where's my massive 200 damage crits? Come on. Give it to me. Got some ogre blood. Some creep fangs. Yeah, we need some of those. Okay, here's the spiders. Keep your eyes open. Don't blink. That was a fang, yeah. Yeah, I think it's just... Maybe the problem was in the early game, you're so weak that, like, I felt like I had to use those special arrows on, like, every fight. As our base damage gets higher, I don't have to rely... They're more of a crutch. Like, I don't have to use them as much anymore. They're not as much of a crutch. Like, I can just kill stuff. That would have one-shot an ogre, 130. I still think we're not very reliable in our damage dealing. Like, the range is still way too high, but it is getting better over time, no doubt. Oh, ambush, gross. Do we have to use... I think we have to try to paralyze one at least. And then maybe we can rush the other 2 down without... I'm trying not to spend arrows here. The whole point will be grinding materials, not spending them. But I'll probably do a little bit more focused grind. We're already over an hour. I should end up wrap this up pretty quick. I think I need one more paralysis to be safe. Well, we just kill him. Sure, that works. But yeah, I guess I'll do a focus, mostly fang grind, oddly enough. Yeah, all we need, we can make tons of these if I had if I had some fangs. Tons of these if I had some fangs. Tails are a little rare. Hides are not rare, but not a ton. Yeah, maybe if only you could buy was fangs, I'd be okay. Because everything else seems to be decent in rewards, but I don't have an easy way to sort for that. Like, you can see it in the bestiary, but you have to, like, look. And things that drop fangs often drop other stuff, right? So how do you... What's the most efficient way to get fangs? Imps only drop fangs, so that's good. But we need other things that are like that only have fangs. That don't run away, because we're going to have that problem pretty quick here. You only get hides from Sahags, for instance. Wolves, I thought were... See, yeah, fangs or hides. It's only like 50-50 or whatever the odds are. Interesting. Odd that the fangs are the hardest thing to get. Yeah, lots of things drop fangs. And other stuff. Huh. Okay. I wonder if, rather than thinking about balance, the developer was just like, it's an eye. It drops eyes. Of course, that's all it drops. It's a big eye. It's a human. It drops nothing because it's a human. You're not allowed to get human parts. It's an agama. It's sticking out its tongue in the picture, so you get tongues. And it has a tail, so you get a tail. And then air. It's air. You can't get anything out of air. And ankylos, sure, they got teeth, probably, and hide. Yeah, they're known for being armored, sure. Like, it's not about balance. It's just like, oh, this creature probably should have this. it's a undead. I guess you get Ash, right? Like, not that that's like the wrong way to do it. I'm just thinking like, if you ignore balance and progression and just think what makes thematic sense, what's rational in the world, good verisimilitude. It doesn't necessarily make the game experience great. Maybe we should have some discussions about material access in the course of the game. That's we need a mega database with a lot of data for that. Get some information. Anyway, today turned into just mostly grinding, but I think my level's good. I'll just I'll try to gather up some fangs, I guess, and I'll meet you guys at the Marsh Cave tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Hey, you got to see some pop grinding. That doesn't always happen. Consider yourself lucky. Next time, stun deads and wizards. Hope you've enjoyed. Have a great day.